Hey, Damien here again. One of the things I want to talk about is time management. I begin skeptically by talking about time management because I work with a lot of leaders that struggle with managing their schedules, and they always talk about managing their time. I think what people assume it is time management that they're trying to manage. In reality, it's what they're trying to manage is their bandwidth or energy. I want people to think about their schedule in batches of energy, depending on the different types of tasks, the different types of activities, projects, things that they're working on. Either they're returning energy to you, meaning you feel like you get a burst of energy because you're excited to do it, versus tasks and to-do lists as things that are draining. And there's so many different factors that mm, help you to understand how your energy is being distributed throughout the day. So, for example, I know myself when I go out and do a nice physical activity and run, I tend to get a sudden burst of energy from that. Or when I am working with a client and we're really energized by the topics that we're passionate about, those give me tons of energy. However, when I'm trying to do maybe some video edits or when I'm trying to do administrative work, those tend to be a little bit more draining. I bring this up because when you're scheduling things throughout the day or throughout the week and even months, you want to see how your energy comes and goes when it increases or wanes. The more you can understand your energy patterns, the more you can start to schedule tasks and duties in and around that. And so, for example, I tend to have client meetings spaced out through the day because they give me quite a jolt of energy and I feel excited with it. And I interlace that with tasks and duties that tend to drain it. Or sometimes I do a lot of my bulk work at the beginning of the morning when I do have peak energy from a good night's rest. You see, if you start to schedule and time block around these ideas, you start to realize that you can have a lot more control of the workflow for your life. And so when we think about productivity, we are always struggling to try to manage our time. But in reality, what we're doing is managing our energy. So my advice here is pay more attention to how you feel energetically, and that will help you to determine where your time is being allocated towards. You see, most of our leaky parts of our days when it comes to our time isn't time, it is actually our energy. And so think about scheduling your tasks and duties and projects in a way that helps you to manage that time and that energy. And then you'll see how much further you can get. I actually just had a client the other day, and it was pretty amazing. He didn't realize he was actually going through meetings and he had to travel from one country to another in different time zones. And he had a lot of projects he had to attend and a lot of meetings. But when he thought about how much energy he would be expending at from the moment he got off the plane to the meetings he was coming across and to even the clients and patients he was talking to, he started to organize his schedule, even down to the flight schedule around that energy management. He said things that mattered the most to him helped to sculpt his schedule, helped to allocate his time. So that is probably the summary of all of this. What is it throughout the day and what you're doing? What is it that matters the most to you? Start there to start to determine what your energy expenditure will be and how you start to allocate your time management. And your schedule will just start to solve itself. Hopefully that helps you because I know that has definitely helped me and the people I've worked with. So give that a try. Thank you.